All right, Lemonheads, welcome to episode
Oh, my bad.
196. Lemon City Live is brought to you by Magic City Highlight. Magic City's 2020 season starts on May 1st and will run through the end of November. For now, the court will stay closed to all public, but you'll be able to watch all the games in real time on YouTube, on the Highlight channel. If you need a sports fix, we highly recommend that you check it out. The Highlight channel also has a ton of their original content to help you understand the game and to get more familiar with the players in the leagues, like our friend Tenard over here. So go to youtube.com/highlight channel, spelled Jaialai channel. It's free to subscribe, and you'll never miss a moment of the action.
So you better subscribe. There's no excuse for you not to watch the highlight channel.
No excuses.
Listen to Gus.
That's right.
Facts. I was watching. I watched opening day, dude. I saw you with you pulled off a sick rebota, but then you couldn't finish the play, man.
Bruh, I am old as Donald Trump's farts. And I tried to throw a rebote, and I literally snapped my goddamn spinal muscle. So, yeah, I got to see
Mike Tyson on everybody,
the doctor on Thursday. He's going to check me out. I feel better now. I think I spazzed up, but yeah, I couldn't. I soldiered through the rest of the day, but yeah.
All right. Well, hope you feel better, buddy. Good to see you, and I'm glad you feeling better that you're out on the court at least, even for a little bit, and get back to a little bit of normal. But yeah, we're all dealing with this. This is, I believe, now the 5th week we've been doing our streams now. Yeah, we've been doing this for a while now, and I kind of like it. I want to keep this going once we're done, once we're back to normal. I miss seeing you guys in person, but I like this aspect of it. But
just say you don't want us at your house, bro. Just say you don't want us at your house, man.
Bro, look, every week,
at your house, man.
Every episode, I get something new.
Coming over there. Now we have a way to do this thing remote. So go ahead.
Dude, look, he's tired of feeding me. That's what happens.
Yeah, that's true. Every time Gus comes over and eats everything. But no, man. Look, every week I add something new. I got my Dwayne Wade autograph picture right there. Look, I put up my some of my nicer shoes here, a little autograph record. But it's hard to point. But anyway, I've been enjoying the setup here.
Something I do like about doing the stream is that we've upped our guest game since we started doing the stream.
Yeah, bro.
Right? So today we're joined by Jaime Gutierrez, who works for FIBA. Formerly of ESPN. How you doing, Jaime?
Good, brother. How you doing, man? Pleasure to be on with you guys, man.
That's what's up, bro.
You're 305 voice. You hear him though? You got 305 voice. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. He's homegrown.
I'm homegrown, man. I'm 305 Dade County, Wade County, whatever you want to call it. Marino, Shula, rest in peace to the God. So,
yes, sir.
Man.
Wait, what? There's many different parts of Miami, though. Where are you from?
So I grew up in Hialeah.
Okay.
I was born in Hialeah.
What a surprise!
Yeah, no,
everybody's born in Hialeah.
I was born. So my mom, and my dad, they had a little small apartment by Biscayne and 22nd Ave, something like that. Biscayne and 22nd Ave. Then after that, my dad had a house in Carroll City, sold that, and then he bought another little apartment in Hialeah. And ever since I was 5 years old, born and raised basically in Hialeah, and
Hialeah?
Nah, I actually went to HML.
All right.
Went to HML, and then Barbara Goldman opened up, and then obviously it broke the districts or all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then I just ended up going half a year, maybe not even half, 6 months to HML, and then I went the rest of the time to Goldman, and I played ball over the team. I played basketball for the team and all that.
Yeah, nice. Wait, hold on. This is cool because we've had people on, some guests on MJ Acosta and stuff.
Yeah.
He knew her from high school. I went to Barbara Goldman for half a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there the 99.
99. Yeah. So we must maybe ran across in the hallway. I graduated in 2000.
Oh, I'm class of 2000. Yeah, I was there when there was these crazy ass.
Somebody did graduate.
Dude, yes. I got fights that were breaking out. There was some race riots kind of thing going down. I remember that. And
yeah.
But I actually had the basketball coach was my teacher. Yeah. Yeah, he was the coach for Miami High and stuff like that. He goes way back too, dude. He's like a old school, big local high school guy.
Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned that because like I guess I mean y'all be kind of the first to know, but I'm the director. I directed the Miami High documentary, which is coming out later on this year. So
Oh snap!
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
No, see, this is cool. This is real tight because in Miami you don't really have, in Miami every time they talk about Miami and Dade County, it's football first, and and then usually you get baseball comes in there, with all the the ballers that we've had and all the local products. But when it comes to basketball, it's kind of like third wheel. You know what I mean? But I remember in high school with Coach Cabrera, he showed us a bunch of old home movies from when he was coaching, when he was an assistant coach at Miami High with a guy who we've had the pleasure of interviewing. What's his name? Frank Martin.
Yeah,
the coach. Yeah. So we've talked to him, and man, he showed us all these old home movies of back in like the late '80s when they were taking on like Bobby Hurley, Allen Houston, and that team was like one of the best teams in the country. That Miami High team.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool. You guys know about that because I started working on that documentary about 4 years ago, and I just wrapped it up literally like this week, and I've literally been anxious and anticipating to get like the final version back from the audio mix because yeah, man, I ended up interviewing everybody. It took 4 years, man. Frank, UD, Raja Bell because he played down here. Doug Edwards, and a bunch of like the Miami High guys, Coach Cabrera, everybody, man. So
man, that's awesome.
They had a squad over there, man.
Yeah,
they had a legit squad.
Yeah, they had a legit squad.
Legit. Well, Doug Edwards was like the main dude back in the day, from what I remember.
Yeah, he was the number 2 pick, number 2 rated player in high school and back at Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, and then there was there was the one guy I remember in the video was he had that old 80s mustache, early 90s mustache. It was a white dude. He ended up playing. He ended up playing in Kentucky. I forget his name, man. But
Jamel Martinez.
Yeah, he was like a suit. Like he was like a Hispanic guy.
All the guys, good friends of mine. Good friends of mine now. Like we talk here and there whenever we see each other. Actually, when Coach Frank, when he went to the Final Four with South Carolina, I ended up going to the Final Four over there. To check him out and stuff like that. So, it's been like a long time coming. He had that success during that time I was doing the documentary. So, I put a little bit in there and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been crazy.
I like that, man. I like that. See, you got all this Last Dance talk. I'm over here rocking an old Bulls jersey and everything, but we're talking documentaries, but we're keeping a local documentary flavor here, man. I definitely want to see that. You're waiting to get it back, so I'm assuming it's still a ways away from
I'm waiting just on the final. Well, it's already been color corrected, and now we're just mixing audio. But yeah, it's already like it's done. It's like complete. Like it's locked in. It's an hour and 15 minutes or so. It's got all the guys that you just mentioned. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Do you know where you're gonna?
Is it gonna be shown on ESPN?
Nah. First, I'm gonna do a private showing first. Private viewing for everybody down here.
Already there.
Everybody has already told me. So we're looking. Me and one of the guys who worked on it. We're looking at like theater. We kind of gonna show it in here in Miami. Private, intimate setting for like all the guys who were involved. All the kind of few media people, crew. Everybody who's kind of been a part of the process the whole time. And then after that, I've had a couple of people interested. Got a couple of people in the West Coast who want to take a look at it. See if there's an opportunity for Netflix or YouTube TV or something like that. So at the end of the day, I didn't really shoot the documentary to like make money or like become famous. I shot it more out of like respect. For people to like say, oh, cool, look, you did a dope documentary. Type of deal.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, it's like home team. They were home team. For me at the end of the day, and it was just like, I'm gonna do it, and not really like thinking, oh, I'm gonna become famous or win 10 Emmys for it, nothing like that. I wasn't thinking of that. I was just thinking more like, let's make it happen. And this is my first documentary. That's something I really never had done. So I did that, and now it's something that I could hold as well as every other accomplishment I've had, because I've had a lot of accomplishments, but I'm a kind of like a real seldom quiet dude. A lot of people don't know who I am. I'm in the back, I'm in the back scenes. And then people are like,
that's the best place to be. Just collect check.
Yeah, man. Yeah, back. I've done it all. Traveled the world with all the companies I've worked with. I won an Emmy for my work and all that stuff. So, it's just I stay in the back. I stay in the back and just keep on working, man. That's what I'm doing.
That's what's
Hey man,
up,
real
man.
G's move in silence, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, hey, but I think it's like super cool because it's funny, man, because you had those good bonds and stuff with those people that left an imprint on you, man. We have those teachers. We're the same age. We're all around the same age too here. We can look back and at least me personally, there's a select. I mean, I can count them on one hand. The people who really left some type of impact on me. I not to the level that it did to you that I'm gonna go make a documentary about it, but that's what's up, man. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Just like I said, it happened because
man.
It was at a time. It was like a time of my career, where I had already been involved in TV for so long. I had done a bunch of different, kind of like I had done a lot of accomplishments, traveled the world. I was like, let me do something personal, Let me do something that I want to do. That's gonna mean something to me. So it's at the end of the day, it was personal, So.
All right, man. You got a question over here. Did you get to go to the Emmys?
No, I didn't get to go to the Emmys, but I did get my Emmy.
So how did they rate? How did they give you the Emmy? Because a guy we know by the name of the Ryan Seacrest with
Ferb.
Oh, Ferb, yeah.
Ferb got an Emmy too, and I always try to figure out how do they give it to you guys. Explain that to the audience how they give it to you instead of going to the Emmys.
So the way it works, like obviously, I won the Emmy for the Rio Olympics. So when I went to Brazil, obviously I won the Emmy because of the production we did at the Olympics. Now, for a production of that size, you got over 80, 120 people just on your team. You know what I'm saying? It's not just me producing the Olympics by myself. But
yeah.
So the way it works is either, they choose 3 or 4 or 5 people to go represent you at the Emmys, the selected few, or, maybe you're the president, your boss, the executive, they go represent you as a team. At the Emmys, and then at the end of the day, if you win the Emmy, and obviously you're part of that team, you're part of that group, you could you put your name in, and they send you the Emmy, and there it goes. And I ain't gonna lie, when I was like, let me get the Emmy, whatever. And then when I got the Emmy, I was like, God, Lee, it's the real deal, man. It's the real deal. And it's like it weighs, it comes in a black box. I'm like, damn, this is legit. Like I've never like. To be honest with you, man, look, I'm a kid from Hialeah, man. I didn't think like you win an Emmy, like come on, man.
But
like
then it felt good though, right?
It felt great to like get it, receive it, and when you have it in your hand and hold it, you're like, damn, this is a real Emmy, man. That's the real Emmy, man. It's crazy.
I'm gonna go get one of my little softball trophies that I got. Man,
I wish I could win an Emmy. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh man, shut up, dude. Don't listen
That's
to him.
Hey, having
he's got a Super Bowl ring, man.
It is no give them shits out.
No, yeah, no. Well, you know what, CD, to what you're saying is like, I won the Emmy for the Olympics, so that in itself is kind of like a little bit even more of an exclusive because the Olympics are only every 4 years.
4 years,
and like you have a Super Bowl every year, you have NBA Finals, you have World Series, you have Sports Center, documentaries every year. So every year, these shows or these series or these people get submit their stuff every single year. But for the Olympics, you can't submit it every year because it's only every 4 years.
Exactly. So you have a compressed time frame.
Yeah, and it's in theory it's like limited people who ever win an Emmy for the Olympics or the World Cup. Because the World Cup obviously is every 4 years.
That's what.
So you exclusive. Like he's
exclusive. Yeah. People not exclusive, but people who win like an Emmy for the Olympics or the World Cup, it's not rare, but you're in a different like. Damn, you got the opportunity to actually win that one because it's every 4 years.
You walk into a room, you walk into a job interview, and you got a guy. Everybody want an Emmy, but you can say, "Hey, I want an Emmy for working the Olympics."
Yeah.
They want to say, "Okay, I want to work with this guy," because they could understand what you just explained. Like he had a small time frame to be able to showcase his talents, and you're able to win an Emmy doing that. That's impressive. Bro. I ain't gonna lie. When I saw Ferb with an Emmy, I got kind of starstruck. I don't see Emmys, bro. like you said, I got a Super Bowl ring. Look, bro, if I can win an Emmy, that means you're in the industry. Like you're really making a difference when it comes to production, TV. Like you're doing something, radio. Like that's where it's at.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's cool. Like I said, it was just it was a cool feat, cool thing to do, and I guess it's gotten me other opportunities, is open doors. People, listen to me, a little bit more. I made a huge impact at ESPN when I was there for those 2 years. Like people like literally were like, oh, okay, like let me listen to what he has to say. And to be honest, I did some things at ESPN that weren't never done. Like, like there might have been some things that you guys seen that like, oh, we never seen that. And I probably either pitched it,
give us an example. Tell us. I want to hear.
One, an example is I don't know if you guys follow the Instagram ESPN account, but I'm the one who created What's Good, the actual IGTV show that ESPN has with Trevor Scales. So they never had an original content show on IGTV. And when I got there, I said, it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys don't have like an original show to like have on IGTV. All they did was just throw highlights after highlights after highlights after which is okay, which is cool. That's that's where we were at, and it's understandable. So what I did, it was like, we need a show, and I created it from the top of my head. I got the name, I thought of the idea, what it would look like, the whole nine. And at the end of the day, I'll never forget, like the second show that aired ever for What's Good on IGTV ESPN, it got 3 million views in like 24 hours. That was the most, that was like the most viewed IGTV whatever video that they've ever posted in the career of ESPN. And I'm like, how did I just go like I mean ESPN, so I'm like, damn, they have to have a following. But it goes to show you that people were craving that kind of content. People were looking for that content, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what's up, man.
So at the end of the day, look, I left and it made an imprint, and it's there, and it got sponsorship at the end, and it got sales people at the end, and it helped Trevor, different things, and it helped people, because I had people there who were like for 20, 25 years at ESPN. They were like, man, we've never seen a person come in so quick and make a difference. And that's like that to me at the end of the day is what means the most to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people tell me that, like, damn, you made a difference in this amount of time? That's crazy. So I was like, oh, cool, man.
At this place.
At this place. Yeah, at this place, because it's a monster, ESPN's a monster,
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Hey, well, congrats, bro, on all the success, man, and making it. Best of luck in this new endeavor now that you're in with FIBA. Keeping it going there, bro. But we have had some Emmy. Kind of, we're used to having some important people come on the show here. That's what I'm saying. But hey, for real, man, congrats on that. And now with this new thing with FIBA, what exactly are you gonna what are you trying to carve in with FIBA?
So now I'm with FIBA, which is a great opportunity. I mean, obviously I'm a basketball junkie, so that's within itself my world. And basically what happened is like FIBA Americas, which is this region, which is from Canada all the way to Argentina. That's what we call Americas, 43 countries. They moved their office from Puerto Rico to Miami, and they wanted new people, a new vision, a new way of thinking, and being innovative. So at the end of the day, I saw an opportunity. I had a couple of people in the industry that worked at the NBA, who worked with a couple of teams, who were like, yo, you should take a look at it. I was like, cool. So I took a look at it, and the marriage fit perfectly. And now I'm responsible basically for all the content and the communication for this side of the world per se. Like, so everything from Canada to Argentina, all the players, all the teams. So basically the Canadian basketball team, USA basketball, Puerto Rican basketball, all the events that go on this side of the world. Like, if there's a tournament, sanctioned by FIBA, I'm responsible for all that. So it is the biggest role I've ever had in my career. Like, I'm responsible for half a world.
No pressure, bro. No pressure. You got it.
But I've brought over a couple, things to the table that I'm looking to showcase, and I'm tapping into all my people that I've known through my career at Gatorade, at Nike, at Pepsi, all the NBA people I know, and things like that, to like partner up and create awareness and branding and stuff like that. Because when everybody thinks of FIBA, everybody thinks of Europe. Everybody thinks overseas. They think about overseas. So my goal, which I just started basically a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, is my goal is to basically I'm not going to compete against the NBA because the NBA is the king, But my goal is to like start from the bottom with the high school kids. So when these guys go like to U15 tournaments or U16 tournaments or U17 or U19 tournaments and represent the United States, they're aware that FIBA is the one, there with them and helping them out and doing this and that. So that's my goal. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you have people who are in the NBA and WNBA and stuff like that who played in FIBA tournaments and stuff like that, but they're in the NBA and they're in the WNBA already. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard, because they're already at another level. And someone want to be associated. Kobe Bryant, rest his soul, he was a big proponent of FIBA. He wanted to I don't know why. It's just there was something in his like personal goals to like make sure FIBA was recognized. Obviously, people don't know, but he played in Europe when he started off his career, like 11, 10 years old and 12 years old. He played in Europe. I guess for him that was like personal. It was at his heart, And obviously with his daughter, God bless her, but he wanted her to like be just like him. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to make sure to open up that game for the women, which is very important for the NBA and obviously for the WNBA and for FIBA to continue to open the door for women. So that's my goal, man, to make sure that the branding, people recognize FIBA, that I go on platforms like these, I go on shows and tell them, hey, look, FIBA's here, it's, for all the ballers out there, the office is open in Miami, the doors are open, you're more than welcome to come, check it out, talk, whatever initiatives, community service, community events that you have, and just come work.
Nice, man. You didn't give us a tour?
Yeah, whenever you guys want, man. The new office is in Coconut Grove, man. It's in the Grove.
Nice.
Nice. You're in my neighborhood. I'm there.
Yeah. All right, cool. No, yeah, man. You guys are welcome, man.
For sure. I'm down. Let me ask you though. You were telling me before we started that you started working at FIBA like 3 days before the whole pandemic blew up, right?
That's crazy.
So how have you handled that, man? Like, how does the organization handle all of that?
Well, I've only been to the new office one time, and I barely don't even know the whole team, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been either through this or Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or whatever. So it's like, it hasn't been hard because I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm oblivious to the role I'm in, but it's been hard to like connect little by little. But I mean, I'm good. I'm cool with it. I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to, make a difference. I got a couple, things in the works. I've started, kind of on the social media platforms that we have, started doing some IG lives with a couple of the players, some Q&As with a couple of the players. I got set up Kia Nurse. So she's the WNBA player for the New York Liberty, who's Canadian and represents the Canadian national team. She's one of 3 women signed to Jordan brand. So I'm going to have her, I'm hopefully an IG live with her in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to talk to her about that.
That's cool,
game, and I'm going to talk about Jordan, obviously signed to Jordan, The Last Dance, because obviously I know you're probably watching. So, it's those are the things, like I said, those are the things that I want to try to connect even during this time when I can't even like go to the office.
It's funny because we're with all this quarantine, man, there's a lot of people that, just started, still haven't met anybody, are trying to do things, and we're all learning how to work from home at the same time. So that's a challenge. But you mentioned Last Dance, though. That's got to be helping out, getting some buzz about, what's going on with basketball and everything like that. Like, that's got to get some people excited. You know what I mean? For me, I grew up a Heat fan, and obviously you and I, we watched the Jordan years, we watched all that stuff, and man, like as a kid growing up, I respected Jordan. I hated Jordan because he was doing all that shit to the Heat. It was always like, we were the little brother that just never stood a chance against those Bulls teams. Yeah. I don't know about you. Were you a Heat fan? Were you one of those Bulls fans? What were you, man?
So first of all, I'm Miami everything except baseball. Like I said, I'm an A's fan because the baseball wasn't here when I was a kid. Now, as far as the Heat and basketball, Heat all the way. You know what I'm saying? I have a great relationship with the team, and I hated Jordan and I hated Kobe. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I hated both of those guys. Like,
Damn.
hated him. But hold on.
Two of the greats he hated.
But boy, I respected him, man. I respect both of those guys. Like, I respect them. Like, there's nothing in the game because they played the game hard and like to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, they played the game to like basically they were killers. You know, like people say, we're killers on the court, man. And
I'm a mentality, bro.
Yeah, at the end, that's what you want as somebody on your team. And like, I played ball, so like I played with like some of those guys that had that mentality, and they're like, oh, we got to win this game no matter what, at what cost. So it's like you want a teammate like that on your team. You know what I'm saying? And man, those guys, they were just great, man. I hated them because they beat my team and because you couldn't beat them. You know what I'm saying? But man, I respected the shit out of those guys because they were awesome, man. They were.
So what about the whole LeBron MJ? Side? Do you side with LeBron because of your hatred for Jordan growing up? Because to be honest, I kind of Gus is a big wait, Gus is right. No, there. Gus is right there. It takes me a while, dude, every time. So Gus over here, he's wearing a Space Jam t-shirt. He's always, all over Michael Jordan. I like to just push buttons and I like to piss him off, and I'll tell him, I'll send him shit that LeBron did, why he's better and stuff like that. But I understand they're two different eras. And like the more I do that to Gus, the more I started leaning towards LeBron. But then I watched this Last Dance, and I'm just like, "Fuck, man, it's kind of hard, bro." Like I don't know, it's like, I don't know. Where are you on that one? Are you siding with Gus, or you Team LeBron?
No, I'm with Gus. I'm every NBA Finals he went to. But I don't think it's just that. I think it's just the way he played the game, and he didn't have no friends on the court. He was like, F you guys. I'm trying to kill you, man. I'm trying to beat you, man. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron's like, I think LeBron is different because there has never been an athlete or a basketball player like him. You get what I'm saying? Like, he literally could play all five positions, He's a monster. At the end of the day, he's a beast. His body is made for football, not basketball. But he runs a 4-2, 3-4, whatever the hell he runs, and dribbles the ball and dunks and flies and passes, and he's got great eye coordination and XYZ that made him one of the top 15, 10 basketball players ever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna say MJ's the GOAT until somebody, does what he did. But LeBron's up there, man. LeBron's up there, and it's funny you mentioned that because every time I had these conversations a lot at ESPN because you got people from different walks of life there, and shooting guard wise, for me it's Jordan, Kobe, and Wade. Those are the three best shooting guards of all time. Jordan, Kobe, and Wade in that order. Other people are like, oh, Reggie Miller, Clyde Drexler, this and that. I was like, I don't think no man.
That's a solid three. That's a solid three right there.
Yeah, but Jordan, Kobe, and Wade is like, man, like it's hard, It's and I know if Wade would have won two more, if LeBron and Wade would have like swept all four, I don't know. Wade could have been pushing for number two, be all time.
When they won in 06, remember he was injured like the season before and after, pretty much. Yeah. They could have three-peated that.
Yeah.
They could have gone 05, 06, 07.
Yep.
So
I know. I remember who got UD got hurt and Wade got hurt, right? Or got suspended. I forgot.
Wade, UD probably got suspended when he was protecting Wade from Psycho P.
Yeah, I know something like that happened, and then like that's why we lost Game 7 against the Pistons. I think it was. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know, man. I'll tell you, man. But watching this Last Dance, it's got it. I guess. I mean, all right. For starters, I mean, I grew up on ESPN. I grew up on that era and everything, but I didn't have like what we have now in the sense like, oh, I wanted to know what happened in the '93 finals. Like it's like you could just hop on, Google it, get a whole rundown. You can watch a bunch of videos and stuff. Everybody talking about it. So as it was happening live back in the day, it's like you absorbed it in that moment, and then you didn't have anything else afterwards other than conversations and stuff like that. So I guess revisiting and watching a lot of this stuff, like, man, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I downplayed a lot of the stuff that Jordan did watching this. You know, like
He downplayed the GOAT.
I downplayed the GOAT, but more than anything, I always gave props to Jordan and everything, but I think the one thing so far, we're 6 episodes into the show, right?
Yeah.
Well, one thing that stood out the most to me is just more than Michael being the GOAT, and that is, bro, Phil Jackson has got to be like the most all-time best coach in anything, bro. Like, I can't. I think what was the stat that they gave? He's had 2 losing seasons in his career, 11 championships, I think, is the final tally. It's insane. And then they lost 2? I think he lost 2 with the Lakers. It's just, bro, like the fact that he was able. And again, the whole Last Dance takes place in '98, right? That's where it's cutting off. And you look at everybody who was involved in that production with Pippen, Rodman, Jordan, everybody. The only person that had success after '98 was him.
Sure,
and not just a little bit of success, not winning 1 title. No, like you could do a whole documentary on just what he did with the Lakers. It's insane. Like I was always under the argument like, well, he coached MJ. You know, he had MJ, he had Kobe, he had Shaq. But there's a lot that goes on with these personalities and these types of athletes that you have to, like the way he handled Rodman in that episode, you know, and how it's like, yo, just take your 48 hours and turn into more.
Yeah, that won't happen nowadays.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
That don't happen on no basketball team, on no football team, on no
Artest was the modern day Robinson.
Well, yeah. Ron Artest is a good one, and he was a great
Ron
player.
Artest was the modern day Robin, so he definitely couldn't have got away with that stuff.
Yeah, man. I tell you.
Talk about Artest. Did you guys ever see the Ron Artest documentary on Showtime?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah, I gotta see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch
that.
Good.
All right.
That was really good.
Right there.
Yeah,
that was good. That was good.
I'll sign up for.
Well, you're not gonna watch it. Bro,
I watch anything sports. All right, don't give me shit just because I don't watch your Ozark and your weird shows that you always tell me to watch. I watched Tiger King. I fucking hated it, but I watched it, and I'll watch my sports stuff. So I'm watching Last Dance, man. Which, by the way, episode 5 was the best fucking episode of the whole series so far.
Yeah, no, I think I could agree. I could agree that like between episode 5 and the music, like I was talking to the guy, like the music was, man, vintage hip hop at that era, that time, you couldn't like, I'm from Miami, and look, if we talk Miami, we talking about Trick, we talking about we talking about Luke, we talking about the old school stuff here, but man, you know what I'm saying, like when you open up the episode with Nas, If I Rule the World, I'm like, okay, I know.
That immediately took me back to middle school, wearing my black pinstripe Jordan jersey, playing ball in the back of McMillan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like for me, like as a director, a producer, all that, like that was so perfect because like I'm gonna tell you, like detail wise, is like they got the aerial shot of Madison Square Garden, and then you got the music, If I Rule the World, coming in. It's like, oh, this is iconic. This is like I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? It got right away, it's got me like, all right, I want to watch what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I always say sports and entertainment is synonymous, you know what I'm saying? Like we always say is like ballers want to be rappers and rappers want to be ballers, and it's hand in hand, you know what I'm saying? Hand in hand.
I'll tell you, man.
I think only Master P can
the cinematography is awesome, man.
Yeah.
The cinematography is great, man. Like it's crazy how they had all that footage in the vault, and they had so many years to bring this out, and they feel like 2020 was the perfect time to do it.
Well, I don't know. Did you guys hear the story?
They could have did it when he retired.
Did you hear the story?
Why? No, tell us why.
Well, so what I read a couple of things, and people have told me a couple of things, and I've read a couple of things. So Jordan, his last season, he didn't want to record nothing. He was like, I don't want to do this. It's not me. So I think his agent or his manager or somebody at that time basically told him one sentence was like, we should just record, even if you don't want to use it or do nothing with it, because 40 years from now, we can show your grandkids you were the best player in the world. And then he was like, all right, fuck it. let's do it. And then
that'll get him, because
he
want to make sure that legacy stands though.
Yeah, so he did it, and then in 2016, I think it was after LeBron won the title, he was like, I think he called his agent and he was like, all right, let's do this documentary. So I think he was like, let me remind everybody who the real GOAT is.
Yeah.
And they were releasing it originally. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm sure when he made that phone call, he was like, let's get the right team to edit it. Let's get the people who do the music. Let's get the right people to do the soundtrack. Like, he wanted to make sure when they put this out there and the platform that they use, it was gonna get the audience that they're begging for. And because I'm sure you could have put it on YouTube. I'm sure you could have put it on Hulu. You could have put it on Netflix. You could have put all these other platforms. But he knew ESPN was gonna be the perfect one because obviously they're the worldwide sports, and the way they would have did the trailers, it would have sucked people. So I think it was perfect.
I'm telling you, though, the production wise has been phenomenal. But I thought it was funny the timing, and we talked about this last week, Gus, when we were signing off in the last episode, was that this was supposed to come out during the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
the season where LeBron was expected to make another record appearance, going for a third different team winning it. Like, damn, that's and that was his call on purpose. Yeah, let's put this out at that time. Let's get all the attention away from LeBron and put it back on me. So that's just sinister, man. That's
I didn't think about that because right now we're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
we are in the playoffs right now too. I didn't even think about that.
The crazy thing is that I think as we speak right now, the last episode, it's not even done yet.
Oh shit!
Oh, it's not even edited yet. It's not even done. I know that they just finished the 9th one. I think they just finished the 9th episode. Matter of fact, 2 days before everything got shut down, like 2 days before, they were interviewing John Stockton.
Oh shit!
So it wasn't even finished.
Shit. Damn. Well, I mean, I'm excited. Like I said, episode 5 to me was the best because that's the first time for me that I got all right, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 felt like a 30 for 30 doc. I've seen all those videos. I've watched all that stuff. I've heard some of those stories. I hadn't heard some of those stories, but man, that episode 5, like those first 5 minutes.
How did the footage leak?
What? Yo, TD's shit's like fucking slam. TD, try TD, disconnect real quick and then get back on, man, because you're breaking up real bad. There we go. All right, there you go. But I was saying, man, those first 5 minutes of episode 5, when you see Jordan in the locker room talking to Tim Hardaway and I forgot who.
Magic came in and all that stuff.
And he's and he's telling him, man, that 19-year-old Laker kid, man, like he's gonna be trying all of us one-on-one. He's gonna be coming after us. Like that shit I had never seen before. That's
the footage people have never seen.
Yeah, and that's to me was what I've been waiting for with this thing more than anything. Like I've enjoyed the first 4 episodes, but those first 5 minutes of episode 5, where you see that, you see them walking by each other in the hallways talking. Like that to me was just, man, like Gus and I have a thing. We call it sponer, bro. It's that sports boner, bro. I was just like, oh, damn, dude, this is what I was waiting for, man.
No, it was awesome. I think I won't forget, like after the first break, commercial break, it was like 19 minutes in, and I text my buddy at ESPN. I'm like, yo, wow. And like I told him, how much money did you guys spend for all the music you just used in the first 19 minutes? Because they went in. They used Tribe Called Quest, Nas, and they used something else, I think it was. But I was like, whoa.
Special Ed, Outkast.
Yeah, they use everything. They use everything.
No, I definitely dig the vibe of what they're doing with the music and everything like that. Like I said, actually, since you're a cinematography guy, you're director and other stuff. There's been a few times, I don't remember what episode it was, but there's been a few times where they've, like, a lot of this old Jordan footage from like the 80s and stuff is grainy as shit, and it hasn't been like remastered or anything like that. But there's been a few times in the documentary where they've shown old stuff. I don't know if it's like, it almost looks CGI to a sense. Like, I don't know if it's like they washed it in high definition or something. I don't know. but there was one scene I think where they just, man, it might have been the Elo shot when they showed a different angle where they rushed the court and they're all there and you see it from like the back of Jordan's head and he's like celebrating everything. Yo, that looks like an HD, like that was shot last week, but that was an actual like remastered shot or something. I don't know how. I'm not the director, the cinematographer guy like you, but is that something that is being done? Can be done? Is that like, it seems ridiculous that you can like make all these old school things look new? Because I'm used to seeing that grainy shit, man, and to see it like looking so nice, I'm just like, whoa, what the fuck?
No, there's actually a few programs now, man, that do some crazy you run it through it, like you run the footage through that program, and I don't know what it does. You know, I ain't no expert on that, like technicality of it, but it enhances all the pixels and it brings the color and all that stuff. That's on some other level, like technology, like that people encode those programs and shit. But they have a few programs like that now, man, that you could run some old footage through, and you could be like, boom, you know, make some crazy footage.
Yeah, but you guys have seen it though. You noticed it in the documentary. There's been a few times where you're like, yo, that shit look too nice to be 1989 or 1991. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, damn, okay, what's up? Like, I mean, this movie magic. Get out of here.
ESPN is Disney, bro. They just called up George Lucas and like, yo, how'd you make Princess Leia look 20 again? Like,
yeah.
Hey, dude. But I mean, that's been my personal favorite thing. Was like I said, that episode 5 gave me everything I wanted. I don't know about you, TD. What's been your favorite thing in so far and through 6 episodes? What stands out to you the most?
The Rodman episode. The Rodman episode was my favorite episode. Giving us an insight of how Phil Jackson handled that whole situation. We all knew Dennis was complex, but we never knew how Phil to handle his issues that were on the court, because Dennis Rodman was toxic. You know, he was in a way, not in a menacing way, but he had issues that he was facing, and to get Phil Jackson to understand him, because they had a relationship with Indians and all that stuff. That how he explained, because he had like some type of thing wrong.
Spiritual stuff.
That right there locked in Rodman, and that will gave Rodman the confidence in Phil Jackson. Like, okay, I can be myself. And I believe, I'm a personal believer that Rodman wasn't on that team. He wouldn't have won that many championships, bro. Like Rodman was like the cheat code.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
he kept Jordan.
It's funny that TD says that, because you know, you look back at some of Rodman's stats, man. It was like 2 points, 29 rebounds.
Yeah.
6 assists.
He did the dirty.
I remember one time. I think it was for the Spurs. I don't think it was for the Bulls. I remember it was like 5 points, 39 rebounds. Yeah. It's like, man, he's basically doing the dirty work. He's basically doing the work other people don't want to do, and he's helping the team win because you need a rebound. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't just offensive rebound; that was defensive rebounds too. Like, to me, I think Rodman is one of the most underrated basketball players ever, man. Because his heart,
and
his heart is like to no one, man. He had heart for the game.
Yeah, he actually cared about his players, and I feel like the Detroit Pistons was the team that he really had the best relationship with, because you could tell how he was talking on there, how he cared about Isaiah Thomas and the other guys. But I think he was able to be himself with the Chicago Bulls. And a lot of people they misunderstand that part. But you said it best. You know, those 2 points, 29 rebounds. Just think about those 29 rebounds. Jordan at least got 30 points for those 20 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So that's how when you think about the numbers. That's how it happens. Those rebounds won a lot of games.
I love watching Rodman. Like that second three-peat. I was definitely, like I said, I was a Heat guy, but out of the 3 guys, the Pippen, Jordan, and Rodman, I always liked watching Rodman. He was obviously visually different. He was colorful, animated. He had all this personality and stuff. But as far as the style of game, man, like, I mean, the only other guy that I could think was a comparable rebounder like that was, Charles Barkley back in the day. But even then, it was just like the Worm, bro. Like, he made it like look like an art form. You know what I'm saying? And then, if you remember, he signed the contract with Converse. He had like Converse shoes back in the day that were called the Worms, and they were like kind of funny looking shit too. I had a pair of those, man. That's not, I was like,
Not
yo,
surprised.
those J's are nice, but yo, I want some of those Worms, yo. Let me get some of those, man. Like I liked his. I've always admired and I like those type of players. I think that's also another reason why, I know everybody's a big Wade fan and everything, but I've always been, Udonis Haslem has always been the guy that I've, respected the most on the Heat. You know what I'm saying? Because he's made the sacrifices, done those things, does the dirty work, even though, he doesn't get on the floor as much anymore, but still he's paid his dues. And he did the stuff that nobody wanted to do as an enforcer. And Rodman had everybody's back on that team.
Well, he's the all-time leading rebounder for the Heat.
Yeah.
He's the all-time franchise leading rebounder. So he goes to show you. I mean, he rebounded his ass off during the 15, 16 years. You know what I'm saying? So
I dig it, man.
But you know what?
UD made a long-term investment, taking a pay cut. Knowing that he wasn't going to be the number one player on the team, but in the long run, the Heat was going to take care of him because he's going to always be attached to the program, and that's generational. So his family is going to be able to.
And he'll tell you himself. Like I have it in my documentary. He'll tell you himself. Like it all started from like when high school at Miami High, him playing for Frank Martin, because Frank got him with that mindset that play hard, and trust me, you're gonna make some noise. You're gonna be successful. And in my documentary, he says that. UD says he was one of the best coaches. Frank Martin's one of the best coaches I've ever played for. And that was his high school coach. Imagine. So how much impact it had on his career, even to right now.
And when we talked to Frank, had nothing but kind words to say about UD and everything like that. So I'm sure the feeling was mutual. But I gravitated towards those guys, man. I don't know. That was just my style. Even when I'm playing like NBA 2K, man, I'm in the park and I'm like, I like hanging out, trying to grab some rebounds. I let the other guys score, man. That's just, that's just the way I like to play, man. I don't know. But yeah, I've so far, I mean, I can't really, man, there's nothing that I can really complain or pick at with the documentary. But another thing that opened my eyes though, is I don't remember if it was episode 5 or 6, but when they were talking about being like Mike, like would you want to be?
Oh, that was episode 6.
That was episode 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no fucking way I would want to be that Michael Jordan in that life, bro. Like that, it got to a point, like especially that third, that last year, the first three-peat, man. You're a robot, man. I feel like by '98 when he was in that, I feel like he had a little more. Kind of flexibility, a little more control, I guess. I don't know, or used to it. That maybe he was able. I don't know. We'll find out in the next few episodes. But dude, the shit he was going through in '93, man. Like, no, like you can't. Hell no, dude. I can't do that, man. Like when he's just chilling on the couch, he's like, I'm just gonna watch TV all day. Like, but you're Michael Jordan, dude. You can't. You don't think of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he was living that Corona life before all of us.
For real, man.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts to see all of that happen to him.
You gotta think about it. He's in the spotlight 24/7, man. He just wants to like relax, man. He just wants some downtime. He just wants, some alone time, and it's hard. I know, I've come across, I know a few, professional, players and stuff like that. These guys don't want to talk about basketball, like that's actually how I built some of my best relationships with some of these guys, because I tell them, yo, look, I don't want to talk about basketball. Let's talk about how let's talk about how you're doing, your family, you're good, like how's the city treating you or wherever you're at, things like that. Because they talk about basketball 24/7, because I'll be honest, there's some people in the media, which I work in the media, for most of my career. They're just not genuine, they're not authentic. They just want to get the story and that's it, And that's never been my goal and my thing. Like, I prefer more to connect with the person and the individual and always remember, something like unique about them. You know what I'm saying? And that, like I said, I've developed, relationship with all type of players, in the NFL, in the NBA, baseball players, Major League Baseball players, and like through this whole time, and during like the whole Corona, whatever quarantine, we'd be texting each other and and it's like, it's love, it's like, it's different, and Like, oh, you know, have you heard what's happening with the NBA? I don't want to hear that shit. Then you don't want to hear about the NFL or the NBA, or they don't want to hear about that. You know, they don't, because they're programmed their minds 24/7 to talk all day about that, or have a question or microphone in their face talking all day about that. You know,
every press conference, the first question. So, is this your last season? Like when they're showing that, and it's like, yeah, bro, I know you're. Yeah. He's gonna give you a different answer this time that he hasn't given you.
And be honest with you, if you ask any like pro player like that you get, you know, you have on, or you get a good, you know, conversation going with, you ask them, it's like, who are your most like, you know, intimate people that you speak to, or like when you want them to know somebody, and they'll either tell you A, their best friends that they grew up with, you know, like that really just their boys, or B, that reporter or that writer that they've developed a personal relationship with, you know, like that is beyond like, you know, just basketball or football and this and that and the third. Like, you know, Kobe had a few of those relationships across ESPN, you know, that he developed with certain people who were in LA, who worked in ESPN, who while he was there, XYZ. It was more than just like, oh, did you score? I saw you scored 40 or this and that and the third. Like, you know, people will tell you, or you hear about those stories and be like, oh, you know, he'll text those reporters at the middle of the night, like, hey, how's your daughter? Or hey, how's your family? Because it was more to them than basketball. And those are the relationships he really, really, really like kept going.
See, I've been, you know, obviously a sports fan my whole life and everything. So a good part of my life was looking up to these guys and being a fan first. And then doing Lemon City now for like 5 years now, almost more than that now, Gus, right? We're like
it's going to be 5 years in September.
Yeah, almost 5 years now. We've been fortunate that we've been able to meet, you know, a bunch of people, cover a ton of events. You know, I've stood next to Roger Federer. You know, I've hung out next to some big time NFL guys. You know, and
Michael Jordan.
And exactly, that's what I was getting to. Last year, I was at a spring training game for the Marlins, and I was checking, you know, they were x-raying my bag, and all of a sudden, behind me walks Michael Jordan. Yeah. And I was like, what? And then he goes into the, I was like, nah. And at first, I didn't even, you know, like, put it together. I was like, so I tell my partner, the reporter who I'm with, you know, I'm doing photography, and I'm like, yo, I'm like 99% sure that was Michael Jordan who just walked by us. And because all I heard him say was, I'm here to see Derek, and that's it. And then I'm like, what? And they just let him go through. So we go into the room where they're giving out the credentials. We're there early to pick up our pass. And I texted Gus just yesterday, I think. And I was there, and I'm like, looking at him, I'm like, oh shit, it's Michael Jordan. He's standing right next to me, you know? And I'm since I started doing Lemon City, I've been very, very to a T. Like I don't mess with the athletes. Like I've learned real quick. Like what you just said, like these guys answer the same questions all the time. They go through this whole thing. Like I've had to separate that fandom and put it aside as a little kid, even though I'm like standing there and the little kid in me is like, yo, I have your jersey, man, you know, and all this stuff. But I've had to be, you know, professional, and I just give them their space. I don't say anything. I just, you know, if there's an opportunity to talk about something, or I have to ask something, obviously. But if it's just a casual thing, yo, even at that moment there where there's this freaking icon, this goddess of demigod almost, you know, who's standing there, and I'm just like, and all I could get out was like, what's up, Mike? That's all I said. I was just sad. He just looks at me and he's like, just nodding. And I was that, and I was telling Gus as I was watching the Last Dance, I'm like, damn, everybody was like going crazy to like try to, you know, touch him or this, that. And I was like, I told Gus, I was like, damn, yo, I think I should have asked for like a fist bump, bro. I kind of missed an opportunity there. I think it would have been pretty dope just to be like, what's up, Mike? Just throw out the little fist and get a little fist bump back. Like, you know, like seeing how sacred it was to see, you know, but I don't know. I'll have to wait till next time I run into Michael Jordan in some random ass place like that. So
I never been starstruck by no athlete. Actually, I stood next to LeBron when he was here. You know, Wade, all those guys. I'll tell you who I was starstruck by. Will Smith. I'll never forget.
Oh, like, shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's what I said. That's what I said. I was like, holy shit, that's the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And that was like, woof. That was like maybe like 15 years ago, man. That I saw Will Smith. We were in the studio, very intimate setting, so it wasn't like everybody around. So it was like he literally looked at me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And like, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like in my head, I was like, "Oh shit, Will Smith." You know?
West Philadelphia, right there.
Yeah. So, but
You got it, the song.
yeah. Nah, but not athletes. I mean, like I said, not really ever stars. I mean, I guess because I knew a lot of them, you know, at a young age. You know, I knew a couple guys that I played with who went to college and they played, you know, stuff like that. So I'm like, you know, they would come back and say, "Man, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this media shit. Answering these questions. I don't want to deal with this." So, you know, it's like, you know, it's tough for them, man. It's day in and day out answering questions over and over and over and over, man. So
TD's another one like you, man. I mean, he was born into a football family over there, man. His cousin's Frank Gore. He played at the U, knew all these guys, you know. So,
which, by the way, he signed to the Jets today, no?
Yeah. Bro.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, hey, he's got the cure for COVID, right? Because like nothing's slowing that guy down, man. Like that dude is just 17 years, man. You know.
I asked Nard.
I text him and I asked him, "Is this the last dance?" He said, "Let's go."
Did you ask him what
I ain't gonna lie. I remember seeing him play at Coral Gables.
Yes.
Gables he went.
Yep.
Man, I was like, boy, this kid's a monster.
I'm telling you, man.
Like I think he held the record like for rushing 3 years in a row for 2,000 yards or something like that, right? It was. I think I remember
like 1,000 yards. He got 1,000 yards in 3 games.
Yeah, I remember that because I was I remember because at that time I was playing basketball. I was playing high school basketball, so I some of the high school guys were always around each other, and I was like, "This kid who is this freaking kid? This kid's a monster, bro! Like monster." And I'm like, because I remember him, and then I remember who's the kid that went to Southridge, man? I forget that was the other running back.
Tenard Davis.
Jason Davis.
Who?
Jason Davis.
Yeah,
Jason Davis.
I think it was something, but so it was like 2 kids from down south who were like monsters. I was like, "Yo,
monsters!" Yeah,
these kids were like I was like crazy. Matter of fact, you're probably thinking about
his name was Darryl Shepard. He went to Columbus. He was a big back. He was really big, like Eddie George. But yeah,
I'll tell you what. I'll take you guys way back, right? You know who I used to go see as a kid in high school? No, well, I wasn't in high school. I was in elementary, and I used to go see him play in like during practice because my cousin used to play on that team. Rohan Davey. I used to go see him play at HML.
Yeah, Rohan Davey. Yeah,
that's how I started like being around athletes, and he was like one of the number one recruited football players in the country at that time because he went to LSU obviously and played quarterback, and he played for the Patriots. But like I would go and see him in the locker room or see him at practice, and I'm like, wow. Like this kid's like I'm like 10 years old. I'm like 12 years old. Like, this kid's like 7. These guys like 5 years older than me, right? And I'm like, yo, I want to be like that height and that big when I'm like, this shit ain't gonna happen. But boy, like he was, and that's how like I would see that and I'll be like, man, like this kid, like he's 17 and reporters all up in the locker room and they want to talk to him and this guy, and then I'm like, damn, and Rohan was a monster. Like Rohan Davey, boy, he was a monster. You know,
yeah, I remember him.
I appreciate the love, Danny. I'm glad you were starstruck when you saw me. Thank you, bro. Actually, another old school names. I think there was a guy I went to middle school with, Keenan Lawhorn, and we went. I think he's actually the coach of HML football right now.
Oh,
but
man.
Back in like when we were in high school, he went to Coral Park. He had all the records, and then Frank Gore came in like right after him the year after. But they were around that same time. And Lawhorn, he played up at Central Michigan. He went to play in college and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I mean, in that era, there was a lot of guys like that, man. You know, you watched them, you're like, yeah, I knew that dude, man. You know, but see, at my high school though, I was at Braddock. I only did the half a year at Goldman. That was my junior year. But the other years I was at Braddock, and I don't know, man. Like I don't really remember anybody from Braddock.
Nah, Braddock. I don't want to burst your bubble, but Braddock wasn't that good.
No, they weren't good back then, but I don't even know if they're good now.
I forgot Braddock had a high school.
Well, I couldn't forget. I lived literally right across the street from it, so I was like, "Fuck."
During my time, like when I was there. Like for football, it was definitely like Carroll City, definitely Jackson, definitely Southridge, you know. Then you had Coral Gables here and there, you know. And then Miami High was good at football. The West, obviously Northwest. And then for basketball, it was obviously Miami High. It was 2 years. It was us. And then you had like American because they had James Jones who played. You had Dillard at the time a couple because they had Keon Dooley who played up in Dillard. So a couple guys, you know. So they it was spread out, but for basketball it was a little bit more like, you know, kind of here and there. But obviously Miami High was king.
So wait, so you're the big, you know, you're connected with Miami. Who's the Miami OG, like the basketball? Who's our Michael Jordan from down here? Who's
our Michael in Miami?
In Miami.
Is UD. Is UD. Yeah, it's UD. I mean,
okay.
The guy he's a real G, man. UD's a real G. Like he's real as they come, man. Like he keeps it 100, you know. And like James Jones is from down here. I respect him. You know, even Stephen Blake. You know, when he played down here, you know, I respect him. You know, all those guys. Brandon Knight played down here. He's from down here. Keon's from down here. You know what I'm saying? But UD, man, he's an OG, man. Like he was, you know, he had his clique, he had his circle, and he kept it, you know, he kept it 100 with a lot of people.
But as far as like high school though, is he the most decorated high school Miami guy? I mean, that's the thing. Like when you think
that's a little. I mean, could be.
I know it's a loaded question. I mean,
could be because he won 3 NBA titles, but let's not forget Mitch Richmond played down here. You know, Mitch Richmond played down here, but he never won titles. Yeah, he never won titles like UD did. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard. You know, it's kind of. You know, I think UD at high school wise. I mean, decorate like best high school player. Basketball.
Yeah, like strictly high school.
Probably best is probably Doug Edwards. Is probably the best basketball player. Like after like watching a lot of his stuff after doing the documentary, I was like, this man's. It was mentioned. It was 1988, 89, and at that time, people were saying that he would come out of high school straight to the NBA, and that wasn't even a thought at that time. You know what I'm saying? So like that's how good he was. You know, I mean, he was rated number 2, and he was ahead of Shaq.
Shit.
Yeah. He was ahead of Shaq.
It's a pretty good name. Heard of that guy.
Yeah, exactly. So he was a phenomenon, you know. And like I said, you guys will hear about it and you guys will see it. Like I got footage of like Jim Valvano in the Miami High gym, man, scouting.
Oh shit. That's Jimmy B. That's what's
up.
Yeah.
I unearthed that footage, and I don't think nobody has seen that footage ever, man. Crazy footage of Jim Valvano and Shaky Rodriguez like sitting next to each other. Like literally, like looking at Doug Edwards practice. I was like, "Whoa, I got this footage." Okay.
Wow. How do you find that stuff, man? Like,
hey, man.
It's not on YouTube.
No, headaches. I'm gonna give you one answer. Headaches.
Yeah.
Man, look, man. I asked, I pleaded, I begged, I paid, I did everything to like people. But to be honest with you, when people started hearing that I was doing the documentary, they actually started reaching out to me. And they were like, hey, you know, if you need help or you know, we shot this game back in 1991 or whatever, they started giving me footage. And that particular footage was sent to me by somebody who heard I was doing the documentary. And they're like, hey, if you need anything, I think I got some tapes, you know, for you. And I was like, whatever, send it. And when he sent it to me, I was like, in my head, I'm like, it's probably more footage that I've seen, you know, of like Miami High playing or like dunking. And then when I see Jim Valvano walking into the Miami High gym, I'm like, I got to use this footage. I was like, that was like some amazing. I know for a fact nobody's probably seen that footage. Almost damn near close that nobody's seen that. Jim Valvano in the Miami High gym next to Shaky scouting, you know, Doug Edwards, and I have him on camera saying, you know, I'm here, you know, because I'm scouting one of the best high school players in the country, like that. Yeah, crazy. Crazy.
That's what's up, man. See, I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm a big I spent 4 years away. I was in the Navy, so and I think that made me love Miami even more. Like I became even more like once you're taken away from something, you're like, damn, man. Like I love all that weird Miami history shit that gets overlooked. Like we said, basketball in Miami is, you know, it's heat, and then nobody really. It's like third tier. Everything else, you know what I'm saying? Like. Everybody's quick to tell you the Frank Gores and, you know, the Alex Rodriguez's that play baseball and all these guys. But the basketball history is there is a history. It's a rich history that, thankfully you're doing something about it that's going to get it out in front of a lot of eyes that are going to see it for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know that Raja Bell played down here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Raja Bell played here after he came back. He came from the Virgin Islands. He played here in Killian. He played against those Miami High teams, and then he played for Shaky in FIU when Shaky was coaching there. So, matter of fact, that FIU basketball team was legit because their backcourt was Carlos Arroyo and Raja Bell. And
we've had Carlos on the show, man. We've had Carlos on the show.
Yeah, those are two legit NBA players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like similar, talk and not to go off record off like craziness, but like now that I'm deep diving into like FIBA and competitions and this and that, the Canadian basketball team is loaded. If they were all play at the same time, there'd be a problem, even for USA basketball. Because Google who's part of the Canadian basketball team, and y'all be like, oh my god, and I'll tell you something.
Right now. I know Wiggins is the only Canadian I could think of.
Jamal Murray. They got Jamal Murray.
Shit.
Shea Alexander in the Thunder. Kelly Olynyk, Dwight Powell. They got legit NBA players on that team. And I'm not telling you they're gonna mollywop everybody, but they're a problem. They're a problem for some people.
My man uses mollywop. I like that. That's one of my go-to terms, man. I got that.
But the Canadian basketball team is they legit. If they were to all play at one time, their backcourt would be Jamal Murray and Shea Alexander. That's an all-star and a future all-star because Shea is a monster in the Thunder playing next to CP3, and Jamal is already a proven guard in the league. So it's it's not like whoever USA basketball team puts on there. It's not like, oh, we're just gonna run over these two guards. These guys are legit. They play against these guys 4 or 5 times a year.
That's the problem.
So let's talk about. I want to talk about FIBA a little bit and the Olympics. So the Olympics was supposed to happen this summer. Obviously, it's got postponed till next summer. Mm-hmm. But the basketball tournament that runs through FIBA, right?
Yeah. So FIBA is like the sanctioning body, governing body of the tournaments that go on around the world. So Olympics obviously is one of them, and obviously just like FIFA, in soccer, you have qualifying tournaments across the world, from different countries, different players represent their countries, XYZ, and it sucks that there's not going to be no Olympics, not just for basketball, because people love to see track and field, people love to see who's the next Usain Bolt, or they like to see swimming, who's the next Phelps or whatever. So it sucks.
People don't think how this has affected athletes that have been training for the past 4 years for this summer. And they're on a regimen, they're on a schedule, and now they have to kind of makeshift a new schedule for next summer. So that kind of throws everything off for them.
Yep.
I think basketball will be okay though, because you train every year, kind of the same.
Yeah, basketball will be okay. The only problem with that is now that everything's been shifted around, there's gonna be some players who won't be able to participate in the Olympics. Because either it's going to be pushed forward or backwards or in a different
availability and shit like that.
Availability and stuff. So it's going to suck. I mean, not just for football, actually, for soccer too. It's going to mess a lot of things up because when you have qualifiers for the countries, maybe they're doing Champions League or maybe they're doing Premier League, and it's all right, how do we manage everything?
There's going to be a lot of stuff, man. But honestly, if they were to have canceled the Winter Olympics, I wouldn't even bat an eye. I'd be like, whatever. Hockey game. I mean, I like hockey, but I wouldn't really lose my sleep. Now, Summer Olympics, that one, that's the one I watch. That's always been, I guess tropical living down here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do dig it, man. I like it. I want to see, how they're gonna figure it out. I still think the whole Olympics thing, man, dude, to postpone everything for a whole year just seems so monumental. I don't know how they're gonna actually be able to pull it off. I hope
they're still losing a lot of money.
Yeah,
but what they're doing,
everybody's losing money. Everybody's losing money.
But one of the ways that they're kind of saving face is that they're not rebranding it the 2021 Olympics. They're keeping the 2020 Olympic logo and the name and everything like that.
Shit,
that's dope. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's news there, bro. Hey, Jaime, tell us quickly before we let you go and wrap up here, man. What let people know where they can find you, follow you, social media.
Yeah,
Anything you want to plug in, man.
Yeah, so normal Instagram, Twitter, Jay Gutierrez TV, just like I have it here. I mean, more than I'll be on probably some more FIBA platforms sooner or later when we start things cranking, get the things cranking up. But I mean, definitely, you can find me on those Twitter and Instagram. Hit me up. Anybody who's been part of the Miami sports scene or whatever, more than welcome to connect, and obviously more than welcome to pass by some of the new facilities in the office. So that's about it, man. That's about it. And obviously be on the lookout for the Miami High documentary, which I should start plugging and promoting everywhere I go.
Hey, you should, man. You should.
Because,
is it called the Miami High documentary?
No, actually, the real name is called The Asylum.
Oh, the Asylum.
Nice. Why The Asylum?
So that's what they used to call that gym.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Resident Evil game or some shit.
Yeah, no, I mean it was during that time when I don't know if you guys remember that was the only gym in Miami that had no AC. They had no air conditioning. So
I think it still doesn't. Like I was there last summer.
No, it does now.
It does now?
Yeah, it was labeled illegal to not have AC in that gym like in 2005, 2005, something like that.
Yeah,
the state of Florida actually said, if you guys do not put AC, we're shutting the high school down.
Whoa.
Yeah, they made them. There was a couple of people that didn't want to put AC because it was always a huge advantage to the basketball team.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But anyway, in Miami, that should have been illegal as soon as AC was invented.
No, I played one time. Hey, listen, I played one time in that gym against Miami High.
No
Not good. Gotta be in tip-top shape. Tip-top shape.
Oh, yeah. Now you know why LeBron cramped up in the 2014 finals.
Oh no, yeah, that's legit, man. That's legit. Like if it's a lot of humidity, that's legit, man. That's legit.
Hey, well, TD just texted me, man. He says his connection has been crapping out. That he apologizes that he had to step out there, but I mean, man, we really, man, thank you for joining us, bro. Talking, get it. It feels good to. It feels good. We're in this quarantine together, man. Everybody's locked up, and to be able to meet some new people, talk and share some stories, and really get that hot takes out, and talk some shit, talk some basketball is always welcome, bro. And whenever you want to come back on the show, dude, and talk some shit about whatever you like, man, come on in, bro.
Thank you, man.
We appreciate. People we'll be watching, and I can't wait. I think it's so cool that you're doing that whole asylum thing, and then I got to see a little bit of that, shit 21 years ago when I was in high school. Like, fuck, dude, that's old, man.
Yeah, but, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys having me on. It's always love here in Miami. I mean, I'm down with it. Would love to see people, do cool shit here in Miami, and maybe after, once I release the documentary and you guys could watch, you guys watch it, they will come back and talk about it. Just
for sure.
Because you'll be like, oh man, I remember that.
Actually, it was. I was gonna mention that when you were talking about looking for a place to do it. TD was part of a documentary with Billy Corbin. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. It's called Magic City Hustle. Because TD
I've heard of it. I haven't seen that one.
Well, basically, the Magic City Casino, 3 years ago now, reached out to a bunch of former Hurricane athletes, and TD was one of them. About, hey, we'll teach you how to play Jai-Alai. You'll make some money, and you can have another career doing sports again. And he's one of them. He's one of the best players that they have now. He's just started his third season this week.
That's crazy.
And it's a great story. There was former Hurricane football players on there, a couple of baseball players, TD himself. And he's Billy Corbin directed it, and it's really, really good. It's Magic City Hustle. I think at magiccityhustle.com, I think is the place where you can watch it right now. I think.
Billy, I've never met Billy. I know of him. I mean, we know of each other here and there, but he's always done some good documentaries. He's always done
for sure, dude. He blessed us with his time about a year ago. He was on the podcast with us, strictly, just on the phone talking to us. This is when that Screwball documentary was out, and he was promoting Magic City Hustle. Yeah, man, and he was great. So they did a premiere for Magic City Hustle at the Tower Theater on 8th Street, the Miami-Dade College Theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there. If you're looking for a place to premiere locally, that was a hot spot, man. It was, Gallo right there. It's in the mix, bro. Like, that's Miami as fuck right there. So in Miami-Dade College, you know, so
No,
it has
yeah,
a
of
really cool
course.
thing. It's a
No,
small.
yeah, no, I'm gonna, wait until my partner kind of like sees what locations he wants to hit or whatever. But I mean, my first thing is obviously I'm gonna show it like I said, a private screening. Maybe 200 or 300 people. The most intimate people who worked on it, people who were part of it, and then after that, start playing it for the masses and see what happens.
Yeah, dude. We'll be waiting, man. We'll be waiting for opportunity to catch it, man. So, but again, bro, thank you much, man. Bless you. All the best, bro. All the best moving forward, man. And thank everybody for watching. Listen, make sure you follow our boy Jaime. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. On Facebook as well. Do all that stuff. Every single little like, share, comment, everything that you do, man, that means a million to us. So it just takes 1 second, and we greatly appreciate everybody who commented on the feed and everybody who asked questions or had any comments. And the guy was starstruck for seeing me. I appreciate it, Danny. I'll take that. Let me show that again. So I want that to be the last thing everybody sees. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, thanks everybody for watching, listening, and well, I don't know when's the next show. Gus, do we have anybody for Thursday yet or no?
No.
Not yet? Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's some bad radio tease there that we did.
I might have somebody for you guys, man. Another Miami product. Another Miami product. Goodwood too.
Manda para acá, bro. We'll do it, man. I'm all for it, man. But anyway, thank you, Danny down there with the comment. Gus, Jaime, pleasure, man. Everybody, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys.